Welcome everybody. Today I'm going to make it a short one. Yesterday we left off with seeing how you can programmatically set a KMS key based on if a KMS key ID is passed or not. If it isn't passed, then you can go ahead and create it as a part of your stack and add it into your bucket if it's needed, right? So what if you have like multiple buckets, right? Do you want to keep writing the same block over and over and over again for every single bucket? In fact, let's go ahead and let's delete this, right? So we're going to pretend that we're not going to give a server-side encryption at this point, and that error is going to remain there until we actually use it. So let's say that, for example, we have another bucket. So let's say const bucket2 equals new S3 bucket. Oh, right, new S3 bucket, this. Right. And in fact, I'm just going to leave the name omitted. I don't really care for what the name is going to be. I just want to say that there's going to be another bucket 3 and maybe even bucket 4. Right? And so we can, instead of doing it like this, how we've been doing it so far, we can actually even set all of this into an array, right? So let's say that we have an array of buckets, right? So if you take a look at the return types before I do that, there isn't really a return type, but there is a return type, right? It's a type of S3 buckets. So we can say, for example, const bucket is going to be an array of S3 bucket equals nothing, right? Excuse me. Implicitly any. What is this? Buckets. Oh, I'm an idiot. I was thinking this is Go. It's not Go. It's TypeScript. It's the opposite direction. Anyways, so let's say that, for example, we've got all these buckets now. So instead of doing it this way, we can say buckets.push, and we will push the new buckets actually afterwards, right? So let's say we do buckets.push bucket 2, bucket 3. We'll just keep it simple. Bucket 4, right? So now I'm pushing all these buckets into that array that I've created here. So this is no longer going to be empty. It's going to have all of my buckets. And if I wanted to, I can now, before I move forward, actually, what I need to add that KMS key encryption, that server-side encryption to be KMS key. So now I can say buckets dot for each, and say bucket, and it's going to call a function, and bucket dot put server-side encryption, and then here we say rule, and the rule is going to be, I can't remember what the rules are for the life of me. I think my editor just froze or is having a hiccup. It's for sure having a hiccup. Let's see. So the rule is an object, actually. If it's not, it is an object. Yep. And then that's going to have is this a block? This is another block. And KMS key ID is going to be KMS key ID. SSE algorithm is going to be AWS KMS. And the other thing is going to be true. The bucket key enable is going to be true. Now this will go through all of my buckets, and I could have actually programmatically pushed them onto this array automatically without having to create these variables, which is fine. But it will go ahead and create my buckets, and it will put the server-side encryption after the buckets are created. This is sort of the capability of using an actual programming language is you can have functions on objects that you already you can have resources on objects that you already create. And with standard Terraform, you don't get that full capability. There is some capability of adding the values after you create the resources, but this way you can do multiple things with bucket. Like I don't have to do just bucket put encryption. I could do bucket dot whatever it is I wanted to do, right? So bucket dot anything that it returns. Reset logging, override logical ID, which is just not a thing that I should be doing at all. But I could put other things. I could put replication. I could check if bucket is, name certain things and, do it conditionally and so on and so on. And that gives me the ability to basically programmatically go through each and every of my bucket and then add it in there as needed, right? And that's it. So that's one of the wonderful things that you can do when you're using an actual programming language. And if you want to see where this lies, I'm not even logged in anymore, but I can log in real quick. Just one moment. I've got my own YubiKey for my AWS account, and you should definitely have your own YubiKey or a physical key for your own AWS account as well. But this is exactly what I mean. So if I'm going to be passing in a thing, I should see all of those resources. So we've got our 5 resources. Here's a bucket, and here's the server-side encryption that we see. So that means we know that it's working through the loop, and it's working for all of them. And that's just one of the benefits of using an actual programming language with CDK. And this isn't just CDK, this is actually CDKTF. So, all right, I told you it's gonna be a short one. I'll see you guys later.